Hi, Lee. Well, your very long wait is over. I want to thank you so much for your patience. Today is the day, and we're going to start in. Nice looking watch. Obviously, it's running. Low battery indicator is rolling. You've got an aftermarket shroud on here, and it looks like it is breaking a lot. I might suggest getting one of the newer reproductions. They look almost dead stock. They're actually very nice. I like the sort of blue cast on that insert. We see that sometimes. Buttons are real stiff, but that's typical. Must be totally seized up inside. That happens. So I can't really test this until I get that out, but let's start. I would assume, well, I'm not going to assume anything, but so far I'm not seeing any red flags. Always the first stop with one of these is to get the rotating ring off so we can see what we're really dealing with. That's some corrosion in there. I've certainly seen worse. Maybe it's just scunge, actually. Yeah. I think that's just grossness. It's not necessarily rust, it's just grot. Yeah, your seal came out in pieces. That's real typical. Metal looks okay, though. Low miles piece, really. Look at the frosting in the case back there. This will be fun. Okay, here we are in the back. Everything is looking pretty normal. The big thing that I'm always looking for are battery leaks and water intrusion. Got some haze going on, but that's not abnormal. I don't see anything funky, really. All the seals are incredibly gluey. I had to really lean on the case back in order to get it off. It was crazy how stiff that was. And I can see that your buttons are going to be filthy inside. Okay, let me pull that battery. Okay, now we're getting to the fun part. One of the reasons, by the way, that I do this is that I have a movement holder for the H series, but the case is actually pretty much the best movement holder you can get. It's nice and steady and does all the things I want it to do. So you see here, there's your alarm spring. This is the post for the trimmer. Goes right there. There's your battery connection. This little lyre-shaped dealy here, that is the selector for the setting stuff back and forth. As you turn it, this lever goes click, 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 and it turns it. And this is your train. Your train's in there. Of course, there's your coil. I don't see anything gnarly. It's it's got fuzzies and little dirties and stuff in there, but nothing major. Okay, let me rip this apart. So here we are now. There's the core of the movement. All the basics. Always fun to look at this stuff and get down to the real nitty-gritty. When I get really digging into this, I'm not going to be filming it because I have to be right on top of it. And of course I want to do a good job, so I need to be able to see what in the heck I'm doing. But for something like this, it's always fun. There it is. There's your train, your gears, crown wheel, hacking lever, stepper motor. Lots of fun stuff. Okay, let me get that stuff bagged up and let's move forward. Okay, well, that movement is now completely stripped down. So it's time to think about the case. There's a couple little things. Oh, goody. That's always nice. There's your original stem rest washer. That's a nice piece to have. There's the spring. And sorry about the noise. Sebastian's running around doing Sebastian things. Okay, I'm going to have to heat up this crown in order to get the post out. Okay, there's the post out. A little bit of heat is always your friend because Seiko glued these posts in place. If you just try to honk on them and get them out, then you run a real good chance of breaking it. Oh, would you get out? Trying to get the crown gasket out of here. And there she blows. See, that's all like flattened. It's supposed to be round all the way around like a spaghetti-o, but made of rubber, more than actual spaghetti-os are. So there's that. There are all the pieces of your crown. So we can rebuild this, put a new stem in there, and that should be fun. So hang on just 1 second for me. Put all those where they need to go. Oh, would you stop it? Okay, I have the C clips off of the buttons. I'm curious to see if these are 1 or 2 seal, because later on they went to 2 seal. Originally it was just 1 seal per, but that wasn't good enough, and so they had to upgrade it. So let's see. I bet you from where this is, I bet you it's going to be 1 button. Come on, boy, that is not happy. It's all stuck. Come on, come out. Come on. Trying to push this out and looking what I'm doing. There she goes. Interesting, by the way, you can see how Seiko built these cases. See that line of gold there? That's the brazing where they adhere these pieces together. Ah, ooh, I was wrong. Look at that. Double button, double seal. Yep, look at that. Double seals. There's your spring. Okay, well, I got to go over this case with pegwood, take these old seals off, clean everything up, and then it'll go into the ultrasonic. We're at that point. Okay, I have the train together on the movement, but my next step, I need to assemble the case. So here are your old junk gaskets, junk crown gaskets. You'll get those back and get to marvel at them. And here are the new ones, new old stock, hard to get, but there they are. Buttons, you have a long button and you have a short button. Both have 2 seals. There are your springs. Here are the components of the crown, plus forgot this part. There you are. So I'm going to put a new seal in there. Everything's nice and clean. Look at your case. Look at how nice it is. Isn't it great having something be so nice and clean and shiny and wonderful? Clean inside and out. Exactly what we want. All that gruck is gone. Okay, well, let me assemble all this stuff for the case. Okay, and now that work is done. There's your complete stem. New seal in place. And here are the buttons with their new seals in place. See how nice, and remember the old ones when they came out, they were just flat. See how these are nice and bumpy and round, which is what we want. So now I can get the buttons in, put the C-clips on, and then keep moving. You see we've got the long and the short here. So let's put that in. There's that one. There's that one. So now we want to you will find the button action is much improved. Barely moved before, now it's Nice and clean. That's what we want. Now I've got to put the C-clips on here, but that I do off camera because those things go flying. Okay, so now that is done. So we're going to begin assembling. One thing that's fun is you can see how the hacking lever works. Isn't that fun? So that's how that works. The stem pushes in and this little diddly goes back and forth. Okay, let me assemble now. So, and there we go, kaboom. All the little things on. Now I'm going to worry about the LCD segments and the circuit. And then I want to get this thing on the QT99 and test it. We're coming up towards the end of the day, and one child is still not here, but as soon as she gets here, the fighting will begin. So I want to get this rolling before the explosion. Okay, so got the back of the movement more or less assembled. This is where I do some testing. Okay, your alarm works. Your light works. Oh. Gotta have that out, otherwise it doesn't work. Today is, let's see, sometime, we're somewhere in February. 21st? I don't know, I don't remember. I'll change it later. So I think we're good. I think we're good. That all looks the way it ought to. So I am going to now, I'm gonna drop all the hands and crystal and put this retaining ring on, and then I'm gonna put it on the time grapher. Okay, got the hands set. Got that sweep hitting the markers, which is what we like. See how nice and springy and bouncy that is? How clean and driven. That's what happens when you have a clean train, fully lubricated, ready to go. Okay, let me put the rest of the chapter ring and all that stuff on, put a crystal in there, and then let's time. Okay, and there that is. Let's go now and let's go put it on the QT99. So here we go. I tried to put the trimmer in the same position it was before, but I don't really expect that to do much for us, but who cares? Let's see what happens. Good. Well, 3/100. Oh well. Let's wait and see what's going on. Let's see what shakes out. Yeah, it's just running in. It's just thinking. No, you can't hear correctly. It's got a nice strong signal. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that one's too big. Hang on just one second. Okay, let's try this now. Let's try this. Come on. I can't see anything. Hang on. Okay. See if I did any good there. Never trust the first number that comes out of this thing till it hits the second gate. I don't believe that either. Yeah. No. Are you hearing clearly? Come on. I think what I want to do, because those are some pretty wacky numbers, I want to let this thing settle in overnight so I can really get a sense of where it's at. Because we're at the end of the day anyway, and Sadie hasn't come in, but she's going to soon, and then the screaming will start. So let me, I'm gonna let this be. We'll deal with this tomorrow. I'll cap it and let it run in tomorrow. Okay, let's see how things go. I just wanted to show this off. So that's where I was able to get it to once I figured out what the issue was, which was more to do with this thing than it was to do with this thing. But there it is. That's real tight. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Cool. And that's really about it. I do have your strap. I'm going to return that separately. I'm also going to include some new spring bars for you. Here are your old parts, including your old crystal. Crystal has a few scratches on it, but generally it's okay. But with the nice new crystal, here we are. I haven't set this other stuff. But I will set everything the way it is supposed to be before it goes to you. Oh boy, it's morning here and everybody's running around. Sebastian is not happy that people have to go to school, but this looks pretty good to me. Well, thank you again, both for your patience and for sending in this wonderful watch. Always fun to work on one of these. I love them so much. Okay, thank you so much. Bye-bye.